what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew, and this show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Obes, Richie fella, Swishy Swish, 93.1. Boys, how we doing? Richie, good to see ya. I haven't seen you since Vegas. Swishy, always a pleasure. Richie, NHL move. You boys just come in night before, have a team dinner, drink all day, go to the game, and jump on the Luxury Auto Collection bird and get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well. I got to be honest. Yeah, Johnny Schlitt and the team at Luxury Auto Collection, my boy Cody and Rob, they had a fantastic time. First off, their first NHL games, absolutely loved it.
Crazy.
We had a good time, but yeah, then we got back here, literally went to sleep, got up again, and hopped on a bird to New Mexico to check out a golf course. So it was a whirlwind fucking few days, but that was so much fun, buddy. They loved it.
Yeah, I'm like, first game is the Stanley Cup final. It's a nice touch for the boys, for Swish, for Schultze and the boys, or Schlitzie and the boys, sorry.
Yeah, and we had those seats were great.
Yeah.
The setup was great.
Right in the Ghost Lounge there.
The cats. Yeah, the Ghost Lounge.
Good place to get pinned. I should have jumped on that bird with you and got the fuck out of Vegas, because all I did was go back to the tables and get absolutely bent over, Swishy, and it wasn't perfect, bro. I should have jumped on that bird, went right to Flagstaff, and put the feet up for a couple days.
Yeah, where I left you at that table, it looked like it was going south for Mr. O'Brien, just like the game did. You tried to play your guts out, but yeah, Vegas took everything out of you, right out of that wallet, out of there, fella. Thanks for coming.
It brought me down a few pegs and snapped me back into fucking tightening up, O'Brien. But Richie, before we dive into your golf, Swishy, congrats on another great week of ballparks with your family. I love that you guys do this. The Schmaltzes, I think it's unbelievable. I loved your video late in the trip. You're like, I think you're heading into Milwaukee. You're like, if you don't have bubble guts by now, you haven't been doing the trip the right way.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. This the amount of processed food we were eating all trip. It's hilarious. That's just like part of the bit too, right? Because my family are all just like old school Western North Dakota guys, starting with my grandpa. He was one of 17. He grew up on a cattle farm back in the day outside of Hague, North Dakota, Obi. And then obviously my uncles and my dad are from Bismarck. So these guys are just old school as it gets. They'll eat anything. And, the younger guys were a little bit softer. Like, can we get a decent meal in us, fellas? We had a few decent meals, but those nights, we're putting back 20 plus drinks. So the bubble guts hit day 6 in Milwaukee harder than ever. Then I got on a bird after that. Politely putting it, I just could not trust a fart at that point. Anything goes. So it's a great trip, though. Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee, just right through the guts of America, I was calling it. So it was a great trip with the boys. This year we upgraded to a Sprinter van instead of the prison van. So that was a big, nice touch for the fellas making our way city to city.
So Swish, let me ask you this: are you hitting all the parks? Is that the goal, or you just do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 28 out of 31 because I count the new Texas Stadium as the 31st park I haven't hit. So I'm at 28 parks.
Wow,
total. Yeah,
buddy. When you hit the new Texas park, I'll come in with you. Billy Quinn's got he's got the suite there. That's National League, man. You're right in the fucking on deck circle. The guy kicked dirt in my hot dog. I was fucking sitting there watching the game. I'm like, fella, you just kicked that dirt right in my dog here. I still ate it. I brushed it off. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll take you up on that. I think next year we're going to do the 2 Texas, and then we plan on hopefully there's an NBA Finals game we can parlay that with either in San Antonio or Oklahoma City. So do Houston, Dallas, and then hopefully one of those teams is playing in the finals. That's kind of the trajectory we're projecting next year. But do you see, lastly on this, did you see the jersey the Cubs gave me? It was a nice touch. It was 90, 93-1, all in the back. So I
didn't see that. That's fantastic.
It was sick. Yeah, that thing, not exactly off the rack, but shout out to my guy Zach at the Cubs hooking that up. Big Curfew fan, by the way. Took care of the fellas, did some other things, had my grandpa's name on the Jumbotron. Got a game used ball. It was pretty sick.
Wow.
So, sorry, you might have just answered this. I was writing something down, but how many parks are you short now? How many have you hit?
I'm at 28.
You're at 28.
Yep.
How many is there? I should know that.
31.
30. Well, there's
Well,
the new
30,
Texas. Yeah, 30. The new Texas I haven't hit. I've hit the old Texas park, so I'm counting 31 parks.
Yeah. How was that?
What's your favorite one, bud?
Favorite park's Wrigley, world's biggest bar. But there's a lot of great parks in the mix. Camden Yards, PNC, and Pittsburgh. I like Cincinnati. That's a sneaky park just to get pinned.
Good yard.
Yeah, there's so many good parks, and they all have their little, just nuances and things like that. Kansas City was cool. It's an old school park.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good yards out there.
My two first years in the jungle, we got lucky. Both opening days were in Cincy, and you know how in the jungle you don't play during the week. It was like Thursday, Wednesday afternoon game, and we went right after practice, right down there, and I'm telling you, we just got absolutely pinned. That's a great ballpark.
Great park, and the one thing that they've always loved there is Charlie Hustle. Before it was cool to like Charlie Hustle. Now it's cool to like Charlie Hustle because he's probably hopefully going to get in the Hall of Fame. But they love Pete Rose there, man, and whoever he gambled on, who gives a shit? That's their guy there.
Yeah, that was a sick Pete Rose tarp you had when he threw out the first pitch in the Cactus League. Another one for me. Camden Yards? Have you been to Camden Yards? You have.
Yeah, it's great.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good yard, right?
Good yard. Great yard. I have that in my top. I got a whole list. I think that's a top 5 to 7 park for me. Might even be in my top 5.
What about the bank? What about the bank in Philly? That park looks like I watched Harper just shit on balls all weekend there. That looks like a nice yard. The Citizen Bank yard in Philly.
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, it's stock. I'd compare it to Comerica Park in Detroit. Nice yard. Got a great fan base. It's outside the top 10 for me though. It's solid. It's on the upper echelon of the league, but nothing crazy for me. I like it though.
Have you been to both parks in Atlanta? Did you hit the old one and the new one?
Just the new one. That's a top 5 for sure. It's unreal. Oh my God. Yeah.
Me and the franchise, after my first year in Tampa, jumped in the old Escalade truck, Richie, and we drove from Tampa back to Port Hope, and we stopped in Atlanta for a ball game, and we stopped in Detroit for a ball game. It was fucking two really nice yards.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would say I'm trying to think of just other like sneaky good ones. I would say I'm trying to think. Like I like Detroit. Detroit's a solid yard.
Petco's a nice yard. Petco Park's a nice yard.
Petco's not bad.
That's a sneaky one.
Did you like Fenway? Because when I went to Fenway, I didn't like those seats in the outfield. They're all slanted. They're a certain way. They're too tight.
Yeah.
Fenway. I mean, it's a great park, but like it's just those seats are so.
I'm with you. I think it's a little overrated. I think it could use a facelift there. I like it, but it's not. Wrigley, they've done such a good job preserving the old while adding new things. Like they have this new area down right underneath, basically home plate. They kind of dug it out, and it's this place called the 1914 Club, where it's like this club you go in, you get a ticket, and then it's just everything in there is included with your ticket. They got a full bar, pissers, buffet line that's National League. You can get made to order. Prime rib, different things. Like it's like really cool, and they've really restored it well. Whereas Fenway, I don't think they've done as good a job there. And the nice thing about Wrigley too, all the seats are slanted in towards home plate. Yeah. Where in Fenway, like you could be looking at the fucking foul pole. Yeah, 100%. You're exactly right. Yep.
Well, and in Wrigley, do they still have those troughs with the ice in it? I love that.
Yeah,
I love the trough. Oh yeah, I see how much ice you can melt.
There's nothing better than a trough with some ice in there to take a good
I loved it. That was my favorite part of that park.
Yeah. I remember I went to a 2015 playoff game with Chris Butler, who was my D partner at the time. He just got sent out of the jungle. Yeah, Butsy. And we go to Wrigley Field. We're pinned. We're at the Old Crow before we go into the game. And, you got to go in there and take a piss at the trough. So you're waiting, a long time at Wrigley to take a piss, especially in those days. This guy, we finally get to the trough, and this guy thinks he's going to outsmart the system. So, everyone's pissing, just facing at 12 o'clock, right? Just taking your piss, wrench out. Everyone's horn is staring. He goes to the top of the trough. So he's looking down all the chute, thinking he's outsmarting it, and he's pissing like basically on the next guy's wrench.
No.
And Butsy just looks at him. He goes, "Fuck, you don't hate looking at cock, eh?" And just walks away.
Take a good look, fella. Jesus.
Yeah, it was. It was so funny how Butsy said that. It was hilarious.
But I've only been to Wrigley one time. We were playing the Wolves in the playoffs, and this is back when you had to wear. I don't know why. We're in the American League, and we had our suits on, and we went to the fucking Wrigley Field in our suits. So I got to get back there, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't get the full experience. Like I got to go in there for a couple games. I was supposed to just go watch the Jays play. It didn't work out. But yeah, I got to get back to Wrigley, man. That place is special.
When you go, fella, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm always in for a game. I got we can do it right too.
There's
We're going in.
Yeah, there's some rumblings. Your boy Johnny Kernuk, I was with him yesterday. Maybe start August. How's your August first weekend looking, bud? You open or? There's
maybe. Well, we'll talk to Kernuk and, we can get across 3 rivers and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So, Swishy, you and your family, good on you. That's awesome. You guys continue to do that. Richie fella, how's the fucking face-off elbow or wrist feeling, buddy? You're out there battling at the pro. How was your week at the tourney?
Wrist was good. Hung in there. I played really good. Little inconsistent, but I played really good. I should have been a top 5 finish. I got to tell you about my last hole of the tournament. I'm playing really good. I'm 1 under it coming into 18. Just playing really good. I've lipped out. I got 4 birdies on the day. I've lipped out 4 times for birdies. So I'm putting good. Everything's going good. 18th hole, I pound par 5, pound one down the middle, and it's got water in front of the green. So I'm gonna be smart here. I'm gonna lay one up, and then I'll just chip. I'll hit like an 80-yard shot in. I'm gonna get a birdie or par and get the hell out of this tournament, and I'll probably have a top 5, 6 finish. But anyway, JR, I'm playing with JR. He hooks one down in the shit and then like these cattails and the weeds, and he's down there taking about 25 minutes to get this ball. We had to call a rules official over. Kind of got out of sync a little bit.
Iced you.
I got out of sync. Go and hit my 3rd shot. It's a little wet down there. It's kind of sloppy wet. So, it's chunks are, if you don't clip it, it's chunky. So I chunk it in the water. I could have fucking thrown my whole bag in the water with him. But so I chunk it, drop.
Could you not
don't get up and down for bogey?
Could you not call the official in there and maybe get relief from casual water? Like how
I wasn't that bad. It was more of lack of focus. I think I was just frustrated with how long it was taking to play. I just needed basically a par, and I would have I think I would have finished 5th or 6th. Double bogey the hole, lose a point instead of getting 2 points or even a birdie's 4, and I just messed up. So I finished 11th, which is a good finish, but I really want to get in the top 10 for sure, and a top 5 would have been nice.
I think you should have called in the official and just tried to. You're a good negotiator. You should have been like
I know, but JR just took friggin' forever trying to get this free drop, which whatever. So but it was good. It was a great week. Of course, Mystic Lake, Swish said he's played it. It was a really fun track. Great. It was good enough. I got made. That was our last regular season event, so I'm in the playoffs. I think I'm in the 4 or 5 seat for the hockey guys.
As of right now, we're in the playoffs. Hey, Peter,
we're in the playoffs, but I'm trending. I'm trending. So I feel good. I feel like I can compete, maybe not for the win, but I know I can get in the top, be a sniff around the top of the leaderboard a little bit. So that was good. It was a confidence boost, I guess, if you can say that, even though I'm still pissed at that shot. But yeah, it was a really fun week. So looking forward. We're heading to Syracuse for the next one.
The War Memorial.
It's called it's called Verona. It's right outside of Syracuse. It's a little it's called the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. So I'll probably have Reader on the bag for that one. So
bring your bug spray. Fuck.
I know, but it's late August, so I'm hoping everything's died off by then. Usually that's a good time of year to go upstate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's nothing worse than a mucky lie. I'm a bit of I get steep, and I'm not a mutter. His mother was a mutter. I'm not a mutter. If she's mucky, there's 9 times out of 10 I'm chunking that soupy.
Yeah, I know, but it was just for me it was a lack of focus. I took 1 extra club, and I should have just attacked. I tried to kind of hit a knockdown, chunked it. Should have just attacked a full shot, and whatever, and just lack of focus. But it cost me some money too. So
yeah,
but whatever.
Syracuse, fuck.
Yeah.
Richie, that Mistake Lake, they got a great finish there. 16 short par 4, then 17 is a short par 3, and then on 18 it's a nice photo finish back into the casino.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, did you go for it in 2 on 18? Were you able to get there in 2?
No, well, I was. Every other day I went for it. My first practice round, I eagled it, going for 2.
Wow.
It was just the wind was changing, so it was into our face. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, I had about 240. I'm like, well, I could hit a 3-wood or not 3-wood, like a rescue or something. But I'm like into the wind, be smart. I chunked a little 7-iron down there, 8-iron, and then had 85 yards in. So I'm like, oh, let's play it smart. We'll get it. You can still birdie from 80 yards. It's an easy shot. And then I messed up and took a double bogey. But 16, that was playing tough all week. I birdied that on Sunday, lipped out on 17 for birdie. And then I'm thinking, I'm going to birdie this hole and finish great. And then obviously it went the other way. But yeah, it's good. Really good little finishing stretch.
It is. Yeah. That's a fun track. You can score there.
And the winner, Marty Fish, let me tell you his finish. He went birdie, eagle to win the tournament. Marty Fish. So he was, he had a good finish. I was happy for him.
So when you got distracted on 18, were you distracted by the thought of the clubhouse is right there? You can get in, have a nice cocktail, sit down, and put the feet up, or were you distracted by like what was it? What distracted you?
I don't know, man. It was a little bit of like frustration for how long I had to wait.
Yeah.
And
you said that.
and then you get up there and you try to you'd be like, oh, you're waiting. There's a group waiting on you. Maybe I just rushed this shot instead of thinking it through. I probably had the wrong club. But yeah, it could have been a cold waiting there. I don't know, TV camera. I don't know what it was. I just don't know what I did. It's just one of those ones you're like, what the fuck did I just do?
That's the thing. When you boys first started playing this, that was one of my first questions I had. Like, how long is the days? Like, are you waiting on shots? Because we're lucky, right? We're at private clubs. I play with my guys. No practice swings. Let's go. Let's just play.
Yeah.
And like slow golf. I'm already a bad golfer, Rich, but you put slowness on top of it and ice me out. I'm really in one. I tighten up, and it's just not pretty.
The other tournaments were playing about 440, 445. This one, they went 3 sums in your own cart, which was amazing. We were playing in under 4 hours.
Nice. I like getting my
So
own
that
cart.
was huge. And having your own cart was kind of nice because if you have a caddy, you can ride with you and all that. But that was huge. And then the only time it gets slow is when someone needs a rules official or something's going on. They're like, I don't know the rule here. What's, because you don't want to mess up because guys will call you out if you fuck up and you could get DQ'd. So
yeah. Another thing, the nice thing about having your own cart is you get all the cup holders in there. So you can
isn't that nice?
Yeah, you can really lock it up. Give me a pair there, maybe a water just in case I get parched. Hey,
100%.
Put the one jammer in the other cup holder, speaker here, and you're just loving life. You're loving life.
Oh, it was the best. Let me give you one little quick funny JR story though. I played with JR twice. The first day we played together, the very first round of the tournament, he actually played really good. Kind of struggled coming in. It started pouring on our last couple holes. So we're coming in. He's got a local caddy he hired, and he missed a couple putts coming in. Okay, so on 18, misses another putt, and on 18 he goes, "Hey, buddy, you're done." Just fires this poor caddy on the 18th green. I literally, when pouring goddamn rain down, just fires him. He just went off on this rant, and I couldn't stop laughing, but I felt bad for this poor bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just classic JR. It was just, I've never seen a caddy being fired like that on the spot for after the first round. So it's good stuff.
Couldn't have been JR hitting it offline. It had to be the bad read. It had to be the bad reads. It wasn't
exactly. It was the bad read.
Styles, it wasn't you. It wasn't you just pushing and pulling him after a long week of whatever going on.
He's a beauty.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I like your chances in Syracuse with Reader on the bag. I like that. I mean, I think you're too good a guy to ever have to go back to Syracuse ever in your life. But if you are gonna go there and you got Reader on the bag, I like that. Sticking with golf, boys. U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills. I think I've told this a bunch of times on Missin Curfew and the boys, but I've played there once. I was so hung cheese. I got caught up in a little aftershaker in the Hamptons. Hey, Swishy, that'll happen, bud. That'll happen.
Can happen to anyone.
Can happen.
Next thing you know, the sun's coming up and O'Brien's teed off in an hour and a half.
Yeah,
that's the Hamptons. That's baseball.
Yeah, I started off, and now that I've watched the tournament, number 1 is an easy hole. So I birdied 1 somehow, parred 2. And Lupo looks at me. He's like, what's going on here? I'm like, just wait, fella. All right? Just wait. It's coming. And I think I fired a smooth 89. I was in that goddamn fescue everywhere, ticks everywhere. It wasn't perfect. But a great weekend of golf. I watched pretty much almost every shot, fellas. I had Scotty Scheffler at the start of the tournament on DraftKings at plus 600. You got to give him credit, Richie. You're a golf guy. He almost won the U.S. Open with maybe his B game. I mean, he couldn't putt. He wasn't really hitting it like he used to. Usually he's always pin high. He was struggling with, the wind at times. And in his defense, he was on the bad side of the draw. He played in the wind both days. But to be that good and be able to hang in on a course like that, Richie, with your B game, I mean, that's how good Scotty Scheffler is.
Yeah, like I would say his putting might have been a C.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like awful. For him, like, I mean, I didn't to see Scotty Scheffler 3-putting from short distances was, but again, it was like some of those shots those guys were hitting, not just Scotty, were such good shots and just gets penalized. It's one of those courses you have like a 8-yard window where you can hit the thing or it's gone, So I thought he hit it pretty good yesterday, to be honest. I just think he just couldn't putt.
Yeah, no, his putter let him down for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was complaining earlier in the week, boys, about the USGA water and the greens, and like, I got to give Wyndham Clark credit. Sorry, like he got her done down the stretch there when the fans were all over him and he wasn't playing very well, and he sacked up and got it done. But earlier in the tournament on the Thursday, they had a fog delay, and then they went out in the wind, and then he got pushed back. So the end of his round, where I'm going with this, boys, is the wind lied down, and he went eagle, birdie, birdie. And that basically was the tournament right there. Like, he took advantage of the winds calming down. He got a good bounce, but without that, he doesn't win the tournament. I mean, the eagle he made on that par 5 on Thursday was nasty.
Yeah, the 3-wood cutter in.
Yeah,
little 3. What do they? Speaking of cut, what do they cut those fairways at? Those things look like greens at some municipal tracks. I mean, those were rolling at like a 10.
They're tight. Those are tight lies.
Crispy. Yeah, crispy.
I mean, some of the chips those guys hit around there, like you get appreciation for. I don't remember a lot about the course, but I missed almost every fucking green, so I remember having to chip a lot, and it's just like you have no chance. And these guys are like getting it up and down from these places. I'm like, the talent is unbelievable in their short games.
Yeah. Well, be able to flop a shot off those tight of lies, or sometimes they're hitting those little bumpers into the hills, right? And those can obviously, if you don't judge it right, it's coming back to your feet.
Yeah.
But Wyndham was so good at having 6-7 footers and making them, right? That's where it comes down to, is making those 6 footers. You know, you're going to have a shitload of them all week, and whoever makes the most of those, like his scrambling, I think they said yesterday was 70% or something, and the rest of the field was like 30 or 40.
The way he putted over on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, like he's got that lead tape on the bottom of that ping putter. I might have to head to Home Depot, Swish, and get some lead tape and give her a try.
Yeah, just start putting it everywhere.
Put it everywhere.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Brian's using the old, when you put the chapstick on a driver to kill the spin, you're hit the old knuckleball down the fairway. 260. Fuck O'Brien's. He's hitting the needle. It was a Tim Wakefield.
There's no spin on that at all, Obes. Yeah.
I got the chapstick out, fella.
Boys, obviously, I don't know if you guys remember, but last year, Wyndham Clark missed the cut at Oakmont, and he went ham on the locker there, which, listen, we've all thrown a club, and I can imagine at that level, like, we all snap, but Oakmont's obviously an old track. He took some heat for it. And the New York faithful, man, I have never seen, besides a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup, like when it's just an American, American player, Swishy, on American soil, getting the Bronx cheer, like they were yelling, "Get in the bunker!" Like get in the bunker. It was crazy what he was dealing with.
Yeah, well, it's like you sitting at a Vegas Golden Knights game versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah. All their money was on Scooty Scheffler. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they all headed on Scoot. So that was crazy, though. I mean, you'd think they would give him a little bit of love, but it was him. It was Clark versus the state of New York there. But he held in strong, man. He kept it tucked and he kept burying those 6 to 7 footers and ultimately hoisting the mug.
He did keep it tucked. Rich, you know him a little bit, right? He's a Denver guy. He's an Avs fan. He likes hockey. I mean, two weeks ago at the Canadian Open, he went to the rink hole, which, by the way, Rich, the rink hole's, I'm not going to say it's the wasted management, number 17 or 16 at wasted management, sorry, but that rink hole at the Canadian Open, the boys are getting good and licked. And he walked in there with a Jack Hughes tarp on, and the Canadian faithful didn't like it. So he's back-to-back weeks of just getting bent over by the fans.
Well, I know him a little bit, but he seems like he enjoys being the heel a little bit.
He does, right?
Being the villain. Like he went there, and if you don't want to be the villain, you don't throw a Jack Hughes jersey on. You probably put a McDavid jersey on or something, or just do nothing. But I mean, whatever. Maybe he was preparing himself for his U.S. Open because he knew how bad it was going to be. But I'm impressed how he hung in there. I kept telling Jess, like, why are they not cheering for him? Because they don't like him. He destroyed lockers last year, all this stuff, and it'd be interesting to see what happens, like a President's Cup, if he makes the team, or Ryder Cup, if they actually, cheer for him. I'm sure they cheer for him then, but I was impressed, man. It's, the pressure that mounts on you, especially if you start hitting bad shots. It's golf can turn on you in a hurry.
I couldn't imagine coming down the stretch at that track, trying to win the U.S. Open. You had a 6-shot lead. No one's choked up a 6-shot lead in a major besides Norman. At the Masters, he choked that one away. He had a lot of pressure on him, man, and he sacked up, and I think the fans moving forward will probably give him a lot of love because he did battle through it. But I love the U.S. Open, Rich. I love seeing the boys have to struggle. That's why I was like, stop watering the fucking greens. I want to see these guys going O'Brien-esque out there and just having to, sack up to make double.
Yeah, I thought it was a fair test, Obes. I don't know. You think? I thought it was good. I could see a guy played really well, shoot -4 for the final. That's pretty close to where you want it to be, isn't it? I
have a hard time in the U.S. Open with the ball like spinning back hard. Like it should just hit, and if it stops, that's a good shot. But when you're sucking them back, To me, I don't like that.
Sometimes those are on hills though, like they're on a up, you're getting into uphill, you're heading, you know what I mean? So sometimes that's just physics of the green, but
yeah, no, you would definitely say it was a fair test. And to the USGA, they know way more than me about golf. I'm just talking as a fan here when I'm watching. I like the carnage. But man, you got to tip your hat to them. They knew the weather was coming and they took care of it. So Wyndham Clark, congrats, buddy. He likes his red wine too. I guess he was talking about last time he won it at LA Country Club here, Swishy. They broke out the Screaming Eagle for him. That's a that's a National League bottle.
Yeah, he was calling it grape. It's grapes, fella. You're busting out the grapes, not the grape. It's not grape drink. It's the grape. So just as some hockey guys over here giving you some knowledge. I know golfers always want to hang out with hockey guys. It's grapes, fella.
Yeah, well said. Last but not least, our little intro here, fellas. The World Cup is in full swing. I've seen some good games. I've seen more snoozers than good games, though, if you want to be honest. But I want to give some love, Richie, to our former city we played in, Vancouver, man. We got our first World Cup win, but I'm telling you, the city was buzzing. And before the next game, Swishy, Bob Moses is playing the Fan Fest. So to the boys in Vancouver, get down there. Go check out Bob Moses. Electric. The city was absolutely buzzing. And from a guy who used to buzz in that city, I liked it. I was like, fucking rights, fan. Show what you're all about.
Bobby Moe, baby. Yeah, I saw him for the first time live, 3 months ago. You set me up, Obes. Got to meet the fellas. They're a vibe. Yeah, that's a nice little gig for them to land in their home turf, right? They're from Vancouver, no?
I believe so. Yes, I should know that. Yep. But yeah, I think so.
I believe they are. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, they're huge Canuck fans. Yeah, they are. But yeah, I mean, Canada, first win, we're on the board. USA looks good, Swishy, 2-0, beat the Aussies. McAfee keeps posting that they're going to win the World Cup. I'm starting to believe him, fella.
Yeah, you just start throwing enough shit at the wall, something will stick. I don't know if they're going to win it all, but the run are they actually like decent? I had no idea about their ball club until this tournament started. I thought they were just like a mid-level team like every other year, somewhere between the 30th and 31st best team. But are they actually decent?
I don't think they were picked to do anything. I think they were maybe picked to come out of their group.
Yeah.
But no, I just think they're getting some mojo here on home soil. Like the game against Paraguay at SoFi was unbelievable. And then I didn't watch all the game the other night in Seattle, but I mean, that place was buzzing too. I just think they got like you said, the American boys in hockey's kicked this off and, UFC 250 and now this. It's just like people are getting behind these teams.
Well, and yeah, I guess. What's the theory on why do they only play one game a week though? Like the schedule is crazy. These guys never play. Do you think are they on a, like, if you're in a good city, you're not in Kansas City, no disrespect, but say you're in one of these other premier North American cities, are you getting after it in between games? Like you got a week a lot of times.
I mean, I would be back in the day. Yeah. Fuck yeah. You wouldn't want to give me a week anywhere back in the day. I think there's too many teams. No, like too many countries. Do we need all these fucking countries in there? Like
but it's just such a big game, right? It's worldwide game. So you got to have these countries. That's all they have.
I know.
Some of these.
Well, this is the first year they expanded from, I think it was before, I think it was 32 teams, and now it's 48 Opes. So they added, not a math guy, but 16 teams. They added basically, a couple more pools there, if you will.
There's only 48 teams. I thought there'd be more. It feels like there's more than that. So yeah, I guess that's right. That doesn't seem too many.
Yeah.
But the week off in between games, I'm with you, Swishy. I'm like, that's too much time.
Yeah.
But, Bob Moses Fan Fest. Get out there and check it out. Me and Swishy will be up in Vancouver for Canada Day. Fella, I can't wait for that. We'll be right back at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. Fellas, you're out at golfing or posted up on a patio after a skate. The sun's blasted and you can't see the ball off the tee or even read the menu. You're guessing at both. That's not ideal, fella. Prescription Sunnies fix that instantly. Promo code Curfew, buy one, get one pair free. Kits.com, kits.ca. Obviously, we have no hockey, but our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week is to our boy Roger Hardy. They're dishing a new store right at Queen Street West in the Big Smoke. They had an opening party this year. Last weekend. It looked unbelievable. So the Kits Eyewear store in Toronto, Queen Street West, Swishy. It looks unreal. Get out there if you're in the greater Toronto area. Go down, get yourself a pair of shades, check it out. They had a cool party this weekend, so congrats to Roger and Kits dishing a new store, as you would say, in the guts of Toronto.
King and Queen, baby. You got King, and then a little to the north, 4 blocks, whatever it is. You got Queen Street. That's a trendy area, Opes. So good on Bob Hardy there. I can't wait to see that fella for his shaker up in Vancouver. But how many stores like brick and mortars does Kits have now? They have one in Van, Toronto.
That's it.
Is there? That's it. So they got two.
They got two. They might have. I think they only have one in Kits Beach in Vancouver. They might have another one in Vancouver. I could be screwing that up.
Okay.
But this was a big thing for Kits to open it up in Toronto. They were obviously this was on their radar throughout the year, and I kind of wanted to get in there and do something for them for that weekend, but it didn't work out. But yeah, I think this is a big step for them to get a store and get boots on the ground in Toronto, right? Queen Street West. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, is there any promo codes for all the people that listen in the Big Smoke in Toronto? If you walk into the Kit store in Toronto, can they
just
get
fire out
10% off or something?
Curfew, buy one pair, get one pair free. Curfew. Get in there just say, fella, curfew. That's like, fella, curfew. And they give you a fucking pair of shades right there. And a pair of
Fuck yeah. Yeah, take those. Go stop there before you're going to the Budweiser stage for a concert. Get hooked up. Buy one, get one, fella. Yeah. Unreal.
Buy one, get one, and then get pinned after is the way I would do it, right? That's the way I would do it. So congrats to Kits Eyewear. Roger Hardy, you're a beauty, buddy. We will see you next week for a Canada Day bash. Swishy, buddy. First Canada Day for my girl, Mac Miller. Is this your first Canada Day ever in the great country of Canada? No.
Per Farhan Laji, it is, my friend.
Yeah. By the way, you need to have Farhan Laji on your podcast. Have you ever interviewed Farhan? You need to have him on.
No, I would love to, though. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a good dude.
He's a great dude. He would love to do it too. He is the CFL too. He loves the BC Lions. He's been covering them for a while. Farhan Laji,
Leos.
TSN, BC Place, Vancouver.
TSN 1050 West Burnaby, Farhan Laji.
Little Rock, Farhan Laji, TSN, Little Rock.
Yeah.
Oh no, White Rock.
White Rock. Yeah.
White Rock.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Swishy? I was watching the CFL again the other night. Stampeders, Saskatchewan Roughriders. I mean, I'm obviously an Argos fan, but if there's a team I could always get behind, shout out to the Brookbank, Sheldon, and Wade. They're good Saskatchewan boys. I mean, you talk about a fan base, the Saskatchewan Roughriders fan base. They're nail guns.
Oh, it's the Green Bay Packers of the CFL. You know what I mean? That's how loyal these fans are. They like to hammer Pilsners, whatever else, any extracurriculars, and then they go to Mosaic Stadium and just get licked. They watch their team, the Roughies, play. They got another chance to repeat. I know this isn't a CFL podcast, but they've looked good so far. And you play every team 6 times, so you really get familiar with the league, and then you go into playoffs. So yeah, I still can't sleep thinking about the Grey Cup November 18th in the guts of Calgary. Can't wait, boys.
I'll tell you what, I get a game.
What a league.
I get a game every week on my YouTube TV. Comes on CBS Sports for some reason. It's the TSN feed. I'm like, this is unbelievable. 3 downs, though. It's just cutthroat. You run the ball once, and then completion, you're like, fuck, punter, get back out there.
That's it. Punt it again.
No, they're. I mean, you rarely see a game. I mean, you could punt 50 times a game theoretically if you're going 2 and out. You know, like it's.
You gotta have a good.
It's hard.
You gotta have a good punter.
You gotta have a good punter. Yeah.
Shout out to Mitch Berger. He should have maybe at the end of his career could have.
He could still be playing a little Berger.
I bet she could be. He's still in good shape.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a beauty. Talk about a guy who I got banged up with in Vancouver. Speaking of getting banged up, get this guy an ice cold Labatt Blue. This segment is brought to you by Labatt, brewed for the chirps, the rivalries, and the sacred art of trash talk. Labatt, brewed for the roast. All right, boys, I'm dishing a couple ice cold Canadian style Pilsners here. My former teammate Ryan Craig is the new head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. I played with Craiger in Tampa, like I said, hardworking guy. You know, played for the Brandon Wheat Kings, Western Leaguer, always came into the rink doing the right stuff, and he's been in that organization for 9 years, won a cup as an assistant. I think this is the plan that Kelly McCrimmon, George McPhee had, probably when they were going to replace Butch Cassidy. Obviously, Torts comes in and does his thing, but I just think this is a good move by them. They move on from Torts. It is what it is. He did a great job. Now you got this young coach that you can grow with. I wish him the best, boys, and I think Vegas got it right again. To homegrown, knows the standard. I wish him the best, and I think he's going to have some success.
Been there 9 years, right? In the organization, came over, he retired. He was playing in Cleveland. The mistake on the lake. He was the captain there. Ended his time as a player in the minors. Won a championship actually under Jared Bednar, and then made his way to the coaching staff of the Vegas Golden Knights. Obi, he was an assistant coach under Butch Cassidy, obviously Gerard Gallant, Pete DeBoer. And then took over the Henderson Silver Knights bench as the head coach, I believe, for the last 3 years. So he is seasoned. He goes way back with the general manager there, Kelly McCrimmon, back to his Brandon days as he was a player and Kelly was the general manager. So that was their guy. I think from the jump, unless maybe Torts would have won. So it's cool to see fresh blood just get a chance and wish him the best.
Yeah, and it seems like they already had him picked for this position when they brought in Torts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You know what I mean? They just didn't want to put him in a situation where he had to come in halfway through a year. He wanted him to start fresh. So it seemed like they already had their mind made up because obviously Torts did everything but win a couple games. So
yeah, you can't.
I'm happy for him. We'll see.
You can't bring in a rookie coach with 8 games left and be like, "Hey, fella, you better get us in the dance."
Good luck.
If you don't get us in the dance, you can't. Yeah, that was. And say what you want. Vegas has been scrutinized a lot here, by I think jealous people. It is what it say what you want, but I think it's jealousy. And they had a plan, like you said, Richie, and they brought Torts in, and Torts gave them exactly what they wanted. I guess Torts still wants to coach, which I'd like to see him maybe just back on ESPN with Leaves. But Richie, you love Torts. You think he should still coach?
I mean, that's not up for me to decide. I mean, if he wants to, I think he's a hell of a coach. Obviously, he just took a team that was basically missing the playoffs to the finals. Yeah. So there's some legs there. Again, he's I don't love him. I wouldn't love him. Like, I don't think that when he goes on a rebuilding young team, it's the perfect fit. I don't think these young guys are meant, can handle that kind of stuff. And Torts is Torts. So I think like the fit, like an older team that fires a guy midway through the season, or an older team like an LA Kings or someone like they can handle a bit of an older guy, older presence might be a good move. But
that's what
I don't know.
I think Torts just goes strictly Mariano Rivera style. He's just the closer.
Yeah, be the closer.
If you need a guy halfway through the year, Swishy, you just fire up Torts. Hey, Torts, we need you. And then next year he just gets back in the bullpen and waits for the call again. Enter Sandman, and here comes Torts, Mariano Rivera style.
Yeah, he's just like your deadline acquisition, or the guy that you've put on LTIR, the player, for the whole season, and then you just call him up for the playoffs, right? Like, remember when back in the day when Darren Helm was playing in Detroit and Babcock would just send him down for the whole year and then call him up for the playoff run? Like, that's what Torts is. Torts is just like, he's not like, a guy that you maybe want for the whole season, like Richie said, but in a pinch, get him in there, ignite the crew, and let's rock, baby.
Yeah, and I love Torts, but I don't think, especially, he's not a fucking spring chicken anymore either, right? Like, I don't know if he's the answer to bring him in and try to get 2 or 3 years out of him. And I know he loves coaching, but in my opinion, Torts, just stay warm, buddy. Whenever a veteran team needs you to get him maybe back to the dance, that's when they'll use you. So good luck to Kreger, buddy. We're pushing for you at Missin Curfew. Get this guy an ice-cold Labatt Blue. Patrice Bergeron, 37, is going to the rafters. Well-deserved. The Boston Bruins did an unbelievable little thing on social media with him and his family. And when I think about Patrice Bergeron, Richie, I don't think I realized how good he was until he retired. Like, you almost took for granted watching him play. Like, he wasn't the flashiest guy. Obviously, won Selke after Selke and Stanley Cup champion. But ever since he's retired, and I watch the Boston Bruins now, I miss watching them. I'm like, man, he just did all the little things so well. And the ultimate leader, ultimate pro, and this is well-deserved. So I can't wait to see his 37 go to the rafters.
Yeah, just the ultimate pro. Everyone loved him. Everyone loved the way he played. Just did everything right. I've heard nothing bad about Patrice Bergeron ever. And he could play when he went to those Olympics and World. He could play with anyone. Yeah. And he just fit in on the right wing, center. He could play anywhere and just be a great player. Super smart. That's one was pretty obvious, but that's really cool. He was a great player.
Bergeron was nasty. So. I just missed even watching David Krejci play too.
Yeah.
Fuck, he was sick. Like, those guys, you just kind of took them for granted. It's like, always elevated their play at playoff time. Just little things they did in the game that you can't really teach. I don't know. Bergeron was like the perfect center iceman, but I think Krejci is still like severely underrated. Those two guys, man, that I miss watching them in Boston and snapping around the sheet. Bergeron just such a dog too. Like, he would play through anything. Like that one playoff when he was playing through like a collapsed lung, bruised ribs, or broken ribs. It's like, how is this guy even doing it? I mean, collapsed lung. You got me out. I can't even smoke the one hitter or any darts. Like, let alone go play a hockey game. Come on, like, what are we doing? But yeah, what a nail gun.
Krejci was nasty, man. His vision, good style, slow the game down, throw backhand sauce everywhere. And listen, they lost the finals to Fact Daddy and the Blues, your boy Jordan Binnington. I guess if there's one thing, if you're gonna they only won one. He only won one cup. They probably should have won another one, right? I mean, did they lose in 2 finals? He lost to the
one Chicago. Remember remember Chicago?
Yeah.
He lost to
Two
Chicago.
And they scored 2 goals in like 30 seconds or something, and they lost.
So he
It was
lost in
insane.
two finals.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they had the best team ever, and the fucking Chucky and the boys bounced him in the first round.
I know.
That was expensive. Fuck.
That game in Boston 2015 game 6. That's when Dave Roland Boland, Selly, he took his gloves off because they thought they won, but they just tied it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just
that put him up.
That put
They put him up, but they still like a minute left or whatever, minute 20.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
But they scored 2 goals in what? It was 40 seconds. It was nuts.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, it looked like the game was over. Boston was going to win, and didn't happen.
Congrats to him. Good on the Bruins. Well deserved. Last one for me, boys. Get this guy an ice cold Canadian style Pilsner. The Toronto Marleys, Calder Cup champions. Shout out to my former teammate Logan Shaw. I played with this guy in San Antonio. I'm watching. I somehow get the feed for what they win it in 5. I'm watching game 5. And I'm like, that can't be Logan Shaw. And sure enough, I look it up. It's fucking Logan Shaw. I played with him in San Antonio. So congrats to him. Cowan won one. Sim won it. Listen, Swish, you played for the Marleys. If there was a team that I wanted to play in the jungle for, I would have liked to play for the Toronto Marleys. I think it's good for the Leafs that they won. I think it's good for hockey. And now they get to bring that Calder Cup around the big smoke and enjoy it. So get those boys an ice cold Labatt Blue.
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback off that, Obes. Giving my beers to the Toronto Marleys, a team I played for. Just speaking of the Toronto Marleys, Obes, like a team that got treated well in the jungle is the Toronto Marleys. You have to spend a lot of time on the bone rattler, right? A lot of time on the bus. But the Marleys would do 2 buses, so strictly players and then media and coaches. So anything kind of went on that bus, bus 2 with all the players, which was pretty cool.
That's nice.
So they travel in style. They stay at nice places. They take care of their team. And just 2 shout-outs I wanted to give was longtime radio and TV guy there, Todd Crocker, the pride of Hamilton, Ontario. He's a good man, enjoys a nice whiskey on the road, especially in a place like Utica. And that's tough to do for that long. So shout-out to Todd Crocker. And then another guy, the equipment guy there, Will Burns, a.k.a. Bill Burns. He's a good man, and I believe that's his 2nd Calder Cup. So they got a great staff there, a lot of longtime lifers in the Marleys organization, but cool to see them win. And the leading scorer was actually Vinny Lettieri, a kid I know out of Chanhassen, Minnesota, Minnetonka area. So, they played well. They had a stacked lineup like they usually do, but finally got it done.
So hold on a second here. So we lose. Let's say we're playing for the Marleys. We go into Rochester. We fucking lay an egg 6-1. We get back on the bus, and it's just the players on the Iron Lung and the coaches on the other one?
Yeah, and media is on the other bus, the strength coaches, all that. It's just players.
That's unbelievable.
I love that.
There's a lot of shitty things about the jungle, but one of them at the top of that list is you lose a fucking game and everyone's got to be quiet on the bus because the coaches are mad and you got to wait an hour before you put a movie on. You just yell, somebody put on a movie. I used to love yelling that. Put on a movie. Hey, when it's just dead quiet. So that's nice. Hey, put on a movie. Fuck.
Yeah, you got beers on there. You can open up the little emergency exit thing. You pop it up the top and the back, smoke your one hitter, whatever you need. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I would have been even begging harder to be a Marley had I known that near the end of my career. I could have went there for a couple more years, Rich, and just, open the window, have the one jammer going, have the blue lights. It's right there, ready to rock. No coaches. No wonder they want.
Sneak a bird on there.
Pick them up. Hey, boys, grab them.
Pick them up.
Pick them up. So, congrats to those boys. You know what? We bag on the jungle a lot, but there's a lot of things about that league that's harder than the NHL. So, moving on, boys. Free agency presented by our good friends at Eagle 4. Fellas, you want to lounge by the water? Enjoy waterside dining and unwind in true Newport Beach style? The fellas at Missin Curfew have you covered. 20% off at Balboa Bay Resort with code CURFEW. Go online to check it out, boys. Free agency, trades. Let's start at the top here, boys. I was at the pool bar yesterday watching the U.S. Open with Picky and Schmoodsy and my boy Joe D. And Kyle Conway, KC says Brady Tkachuk traded to the Florida Panthers. I'm like, how many hits of the one jammer have I had here? But what are your thoughts on it, boys? I'll let you guys start.
Rich, you can take her, fella.
Yeah, I just think the Tkachuks run the world.
Yeah, right.
USA
Hockey is running the NHL.
Running it. It's crazy to think. We all kind of had a feeling it was coming, but just to go to the same team, Like they seem to get whatever they want, which I love. I love. Their team just got significantly better, and I'm just thinking about their lineup. This is gonna be a mean, nasty lineup too, right?
Oh yeah.
Adding Brady in there, like going through Florida now again. You're like, Jesus, we need really Brady. We already have Sam Bennett and all these guys that just are on you. So it's just got a lot harder.
8 of 9 Olympians in their top 9, and those aren't on teams, no disrespect, the Slovakias, the Czechs. These are Olympians from the U.S.,
Gold
Canada,
medal.
and Finland, all in their top 9. One thing I was thinking about as this deal was being made, it's like Bill Zito is just on the chessboard, and he's just moving things around. He lets go Salmon Go Fish, as I call him, Mackey. They get a pick for him, 2, I believe. And then he turns that around, takes the King from Ottawa. But the one thing I was thinking too, Obi, is how good is this for the Tkachuk podcast? These guys are no longer remote. Their podcast deal is going up. These guys are just winning on and off the ice. They're going to be in the lab cooking. Big Walt's going to be down there. I mean, how does even come is this a deal you think that's been in the works for a couple of weeks, or is that just like shoot from the hip on Father's Day, get this thing done with Billy Zito, because he just seems to pull these things off quicker than everyone can expect.
Yeah, I tried to warn, and not that people give a fuck what I think, but after they won the Olympic gold medal and he went back to Ottawa and they continued to bag on him, continued with the media. And listen, there's lots of people in the media that I respect and are great people, like any facet of work. And then there's people that are fucking pigeons, and they continue to bag on him, Swishy. And I'm like, leave this kid alone. And I don't know. I haven't talked to Brady. I'm not that tight with him that he's going to give me inside scoop. But from the outside looking in, to me, that was the final nail. Like he was trying to do everything he could. Obviously, getting swept by the Caniacs too probably didn't help the situation. But I'm with Richie here. Like, I was never a good enough player to dictate where I could go play. If I was, and my brother was in the NHL on a great team that has won 2 Stanley Cups and has basically the same team there, I would do everything I could to get there too. People may hate it, think it's not right, but as a player, you don't get to dictate a whole lot throughout your career. And when you have the opportunity, I love what these guys are doing, Swishy, and I'd be doing the same thing if I was that level of a player back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, who's to fault someone for wanting to go play with their brother, play in Florida? No disrespect again to Ottawa, but it's not Florida. And also it just seems like when you actually get to a point, we've talked about it on this pod before, if you're one of those players that has the luxury of holding the future or holding the cards of where you can dictate where you can go in terms of having a no movement clause. I mean, how many guys in the league actually have that luxury? Not a lot. And when you're able to go to a team and say, hey, these are, maybe 3 or 4 teams I would go to, you still have to sign off ultimately where you go. I think Minnesota was in the mix, maybe another couple teams, but when the opportunity presents itself, hey, I can go play with my brother, like, how can you fault the guy? Like, that would be the coolest thing, having a brother, that plays in the league and playing a little bit. That was always the dream, whether it was from the basement games on. So it's cool that they were able to just make it happen. It just seems like they're playing NHL, the video game right now. Just like, all right, yeah, let's just make this happen. Go down there. Let's go play together, whatever. We'll make it work. Billy Zito, get it done, fella. Thank you. And then probably go win another championship. So it's pretty cool.
Richie, if I was a good enough player back in the day that I could have been like, I want to be an LA King, I would have done everything in my powers to go play with you boys in LA because of you. And then just because of everything I loved about that team. I was never a good enough player to dictate that. But if you're sitting there, you're Brady Tkachuk, you don't have a Stanley Cup, you just got a taste of winning a gold medal, and you're like, I can go down to Ottawa, get a little vitamin D, play with my brother. Now Big Walt doesn't ever have to leave Florida. Big Walt's just going to be cemented down there and, helps his team get even better. I think it was a no-brainer for him. And what happened with the media, I just think was the final straw. And he's like, you know what, I'm not going to resign here, so let's take care of this now. And if you look at it from Ottawa's perspective, Richie, a lot of people think they got all these picks and they're going to try to go out and bring in a big fish, someone who's out there. I don't know if it's Robertson or if they're going to try to make a trade. I don't know. But to me, when you trade Brady Tkachuk and you don't get back one NHL player, I love Stevie Stamkos, and I feel bad for Greener. I was shocked, Rich, that they didn't get back one National Leaguer. Like, whatever that is, if it's Lundell or Listerinen or Verhaeghe, I wouldn't want one National Leaguer back.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they did, Obes, but I mean, Florida's looking to win. They're not giving up one of their top 6 guys back. I think that's a pretty, for a guy that's going to leave no matter what, that's a pretty, getting 3 first rounds and a second round pick's a big haul, in my opinion. I mean, one's a top, I think one's an 8th overall, 9th overall this year. That's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I'm just saying
the other ones will probably be later. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're
on the
saying.
verge. If they don't trade Brady, I'm thinking Ottawa is a team in the East that could win it. Now what are they?
Well, yeah, but they still have they have 3 first round picks this year now.
Yeah, but they won't play.
They're gonna I know they're gonna move someone to get another guy.
So you think they're gonna package this up and bring in?
I would think they're not gonna pick 3 guys in the first round.
Yeah. So that's what Steady Stevie's. I'll get these picks.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I'll package them up.
Yeah.
And go out and get whoever they got their eyes set on. Now,
yeah.
I hope that's what they're doing, and I'm sure you're right, Richie. Steady Stevie's a smart hockey guy. I just love Travis Green. I love what they were building there in Ottawa, Swish, and this is a big blow, obviously. I just don't think it's time for like full rebuild there. They got Batherson, Timmy Stutzel, Shabbat, Sanderson, Allmark. Like, I want to see these guys that are still there get a chance to win.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to what you do with these picks. Right now you have some assets, you have some coupons to play with. Like, is that a Matty Nyes? Can you talk to John Chaika and package something to maybe kick the doors on, your brother to the south and see if that would be an availability? Or is it Robertson, coming to Ottawa? But I think you have to package whatever it is, these 3 picks, maybe an asset of a player, a prospect, whatever it's going to take to get an NHL player ready now. And I think the biggest fish right now that you could go get that would be maybe willing to move would be Jason Robertson. Yeah. I think that probably makes the most sense. Is he Brady Tkachuk? No, absolutely not. He's not going to be the leader he is. He's not going to have the physicality, but I do think that shows your locker room, okay, guys, we're not folding. We're not rebuilding. This is very so much still a win-now team. And if you can go and acquire a guy that scored 40-odd goals, that's still value there. So that's what they need to do. Easier said than done. But I would be targeting Robertson out of Dallas for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the more I think about it, Rich, I think you're right. He's Stevie's, this is the first move of his next big one, right? He's got all these picks now. And I just want to see them get back a player that can help them, compete now, because I love Greener. I love what they're building there. And, it's too bad. But right now, the top 2 lines for the Florida Panthers, who, by the way, I got them at plus 1,100 on DraftKings last week, for Hagee, Barkov, Reinhart. And then how about this second line? Brady Tkachuk, Sam Bennett, Matty Tkachuk. How are you?
They're going to be a problem.
Listerine, Lundell, Marchant.
Yeah, which was arguably their best line in playoffs when they last won the mug. I mean, and I don't think they're done either. Billy Zito is a mad scientist. One of the best GMs in the league. He's got a big set of moose knuckles in terms of not scared to make a move. I think Hellebuck is their next target. I really do. I don't think if they can't re-sign Bob, somehow they're going to make getting Hellebuck. They're going to make it happen. Whatever they have to give out, money in, money out. I think that's the guy that they're looking at, because they're not going to go into next season with that lineup and not having a goaltender of the caliber of winning a Stanley Cup. And who knows? It just seems like this USA Hockey like mantra, Obi, since they've won. And I know you hate talking about it, but it just seems like these guys are running the league right now. Whether it's Bill Guerin stepping in, grabbing Quinn Hughes, bringing him in Minnesota, whether it's, a move like this by Billy Zito, who was on that staff, bringing in Brady Tkachuk. That's an easy one, obviously, but I could see him bringing in Hellebuck as well. Their netminder that won him, the gold medal over there in Milan.
No, and listen, the only reason I didn't like USA winning was because I'm a Canadian boy from Port Hope, right? And the young kid didn't want Canada to win. I love all the guys on Team USA. They've been great to me. They've been great to Missin Curfew. I love the way they play. I love the brotherhood they have. And now I love how they're just like, hey, this is what's going to happen, boys. We're going to play here. We don't want to play here. I just think I like to see players have a little bit of say. And the one thing I will say from the other perspective, Richie, when it comes to GMs, is maybe it's time to start thinking, maybe don't just throw out these no move clauses. Like maybe only certain guys like McDavid and like maybe not everybody gets a fucking no move.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be looked at, because you're seeing how the GMs and owners hate when the players have control. And, they get to free agency, obviously, that you can do what you want. There's definitely going to be a lack, or you're going to see the numbers go down on those no move, at least full no moves, right, where you can control everything.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like there used to be a time, especially when you guys were in the league, and I even saw just in terms of older guys, like to earn that full no move, like you had to be a special player.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the effect of that was when, you go through COVID and everyone is so tight on the cap, to lower that AAV, you went years and you gave the players a little bit more say in terms of no move clauses in those contracts.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing the effects of that, where a lot of these guys have no moves, where necessarily in recent years before that or prior, they didn't have that luxury of getting it because, they weren't strapped up against the cap, or, they didn't have any money. But to lower that AAV, they gave a little bit more, in favor of the players. At least that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah. No, it's something to think about. But to Brady and Maddie and Big Walt's got to be fired up. He's going to just be down there in Fort Lauderdale putting the feet up. Maybe Brady buys a house beside Maddie's. They just have a nice little triangle there. Don't have to even leave the neighborhood. I love that family. I'm happy for them. And I already had my money on them for next year, so I'm thrilled there too. Free agents and trades, boys, and signings here presented by our good friends at Eagle 4. Big news out of the Big Smoke. The Toronto Maple Leafs hire Jim Hiller. Actually, I'm not sure if you know. I don't think he wasn't there when you were in LA. I know that, but I guess I can start here. I watched the Kings play a lot. Love Stoli Babe on the telecast with the nice cashmere sweaters. He looked nice. They didn't play a very entertaining brand of hockey to me, and I don't know if this maybe is a good thing for Matthews and Nylander. For a guy to come in with a lot of structure, but to me, this one was off the radar. I didn't think he was even going to be considered, and they hired him. So we'll see. I wish him luck. He's already been there as an assistant. But what are your thoughts on this one, boys? Jim Hiller, not exactly the sexiest hiring for the Leafs.
I was shocked. I was very shocked. I'm not going to name any names, but I don't think he was. I don't think he was well. Like the guys liked him as a guy. I don't think they loved him as a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm really shocked. You got the biggest job in hockey. You know what I mean? I didn't even think he'd get an interview.
I know. I'm like, brought this guy in, huh?
Yeah, I thought they really go young, a new guy, like up and coming coach, someone off the board a little bit. That's usually John Chaika's style. Get it kind of, that. I was shocked. I don't know what to say. I would have bet 20 other guys before him.
Well, he's speaking of off the board, like it's like the Joel Pavelski stuff. Like he interviewed for Pavelski. I'm like, this guy hasn't even coached.
He's coaching his kids, yeah.
I mean, it worked for Marty in Montreal for Ken Hughes and the boys, but I was just like, where'd Pavelski come from? So, to your point there, Rich, he was interviewing guys that were off the board.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Pavelski thing. He's a super smart hockey guy. I'm not saying I don't know if he wanted to. I haven't seen him. He golfs on our tour there. I haven't seen him and talked to him about it, but I don't know. I'm shocked. I don't know how Swish feels about it. I know he's a good dude, but.
He doesn't spend as much time at the bar as you do there, Pavelski, after the rounds. How are you?
He's a Wisconsin kid. He's be shaking. He can put him back.
You haven't seen him at the pisser or anything? Hey, buddy. How you doing there? How'd you play today, bud? Hey, you coaching the Leafs or what are you doing? You getting the job?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of it. Like, what possibly could have Hiller in that interview process blown the socks off of Johnny Chaika and Matt Sundin? Is he an analytical guy? Does he interview well? Is he and from the interviews I've seen, he seems like he's kind of like a reserved, quiet guy, at least his time with the LA Kings. It's not the sexiest hire. It just shocked me to a point where it's like, is that the guy that's going to get you over the hump? That's my only question. And I'm not trying to throw shade at the guy at all. It's just like that's the biggest job in hockey. That's the mecca of everything of the NHL and just hockey in general. And you bring in a guy that, has limited head coaching experience. That when he did in LA, they played a very bland or boring style of hockey in a 1-3-1, and they would sit back. I don't know. It seemed like a very odd hiring to make a splash with that organization. You're not making much there. It's kind of just pissing in a puddle.
I will say this about Chetka. That's how you say his name, right? He doesn't seem Chaika. He doesn't seem to give a fuck about what people think.
He doesn't.
He comes in the press conference and gets buried by the media, and then he goes out and hires a guy that's not on the radar at all. So maybe he's just sticking to his plan. But for me, the style of hockey they played in LA, I was like, fuck, this is just not a great brand of hockey. And if you're paying $500 a ticket in Toronto to go out there and watch that style of brand, we'll see how it works out. I do wish him luck. It was surprising. I got Leaf fans. My buddies blowing me up. They don't know what's going on. I'm like, fuck, trust the process, boys. I don't know what to tell you. Trust the process. So, moving on around the National League here with our trades. Michael Kesselring, friend of the show. His old man listens. He's a beauty. Traded to the San Jose Sharks. I think this is a great pickup for the Sharks. I thought this kid should have got more of an opportunity in Buffalo. Whatever, he never did. He's coming out here, playing with the young up-and-coming Celebrini. I like this kid's game. Swishy, right-handed shot D-man, has a little bite to him, kind of the new age defenseman with some bite. I think he's going to flourish out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his game, dating back to when the Arizona Coyotes traded for him, he goes into Utah. They were grooming him to be a top 4 defenseman. He ends up in that trade with Josh Doan to Buffalo. You think he's going to be at least a staple on their blue line, somewhere between 4, 5, 6 at least. Maybe play a little bit of power play. He's got better skill, and you think he just needed a fresh start. It didn't work out that way. He fell out of fortune with Lindy Ruff and that coaching staff. And ultimately, I think our boy Jason Demers has been kind of manufacturing this trade since the middle of the year, getting him to Man Jose. JD obviously does a little bit of, it's not tampering, but he watches the Sharks a lot. He does some stuff with them. He's a good friend of Kesselring. So I think him coming back out west, he's going to have a fresh slate to get in there with a young D-core, eat up some ice. I think he's a kid that can play anywhere between a 4 and a 5, somewhere between a sneaky 5 and a top 4 defenseman. He can skate. I think at times he's got to simplify his game, but there is an upside there, and he just has to play, Opes. Like, that's the biggest thing. He's a young defenseman. He's got to play games. He's, I think 200-odd games into his NHL career, maybe a little bit less, to be honest. He gets out here. Who knows? He's a puck-moving defenseman, 6'4", rangy kind of guy. He's not scared to chuck him either, though. Yeah. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, I think, when these teams are looking at guys, like the word they use all the time when you're looking for, like, everyone knows who the good players are and you can't really get them, unless you want to give up 3 first-round picks. Who's going to pop? We need find a guy that's not playing in a situation that you can come to our team and pop. That's all you're looking for. Most scouts, that's what you're doing. And I think this guy has a chance to pop. I really do. I've said that before, but I don't know what happened in Buffalo, why they didn't like him, but I think this guy's going to do really well in San Jose.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think him and that young Sam Dickinson, that might be a nice pair to start off, a lefty-righty. Yeah. But I'm with you, Richie. I think this opportunity is going to be great for him. Boys, around the National League here, signing and trades. Our boy Adam Foote lands on his feet, assistant coach with the Utah Mammoth, a.k.a. the hockey club. Footy, good on you. I think this is a great spot for him. I know Weegsy Baby's going to love him. We all agree that Footy had got the short end of the stick this year in Van. So Swishy, I think this is a good spot for him. I'm happy for Footer.
Yeah, I'm pumped for him. He's, I go way back with him. He's, obviously I've talked about it on the show before though. Smart hockey mind, really good with just the little details of teaching defense and just the ultimate beauty behind the bench. He's one of those guys that just instills confidence in you. Very positive guy, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, head coaching experience. Can come into that Utah just staff in general and provide a winning pedigree, and a guy that, when the fella tour rolls through for the Winter Classic, Footer, you're getting a call, and we're going to have him on ice for you, fella. We'll see you in Park City.
Yeah, fella. We'll get a little one rock with Footer. So that's well said. Congrats to him. And Utah's a hockey club next year that I can't wait to watch. I think they're going to take the next step, and all three of us hope that happens. So, boys, it is the Luxury Auto Collection. Dog of the week. All right, fellas, here's some quick love for our friends at Luxury Auto Collection Aero. Yeah, not just exotic and luxury vans. We're talking private jets. Gulfstream, Citation, real grown men toys. Check them out at Luxury Auto Collection Aero online. Fellas, our Luxury Auto Collection dog of the week is Jonathan Toews. He retires from hockey at 38 years old. Listen to this resume, boys. 912 points, 3-time Stanley Cup champ, Conn Smythe winner, Selke, Messier winner, triple Gold Club member. He's won everywhere. And I just wanted to go back to Jonathan Toews in his prime, man. We had some battles with him in Vancouver. They always got the better of us. And this guy, no matter how much you chirped him or what you said to him, it didn't affect him. He went out there, he played his role. He was a beast offensively, a beast defensively in the face-off circle. I would try to get under his skin, and he wouldn't even bat an eye at me. He called me a cancer. Actually, that was pretty funny. He's like, "You're a cancer, O'Brien." But this guy was an absolute dog, man. Not going to fight, not going to cross-check you, not going to stinky glove you. But when the puck drops, whistle to whistle, this guy was a fucking dog, boys, and that's why he's our luxury auto collection dog of the week.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it. University of North Dakota, Winnipeg, a.k.a. Las Vegas of the North, the product of the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, he's won it all, right? He's part of the Triple Gold Club. He's a Stanley Cup champion, obviously, Conn Smythe. Hell of a hockey player, Obi. And then the fact that he even just took 3 years off and just stepped back down to the National League ice is a testament to how good of a player he was. Obviously, he ain't as good as he once was, but just to be able to do that, like turn it around and come back and play NHL games and stay in shape and play the majority of the season is a testament to just how good he was. I wonder what he's doing. I wonder if he's just on Lake of the Woods in Kenora. Is he just bumping the hip right now? 38 years old. He's 38. Is he just
Never
sitting
kissed
there?
a girl.
Never kissed. I think he's kissed a few, but it's one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, just dating back to his UND days, him and TJ Oshie coming in the same class. Those guys were electric.
Yeah, it's too with him. Was for 10 or 12 years. Was there a better centerman in the game? Really?
No.
You could say if I could start a franchise with Jonathan Toews for that 10, you know what I mean? He was as good as it gets.
Yeah.
She did play both ends of the ice really well. Wasn't high end maybe as some of the guys are offensively, but he's like a Kopitar-ish kind of type player. He just did everything right.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
I don't think he gets enough credit for how tough he was. And I don't mean like he's going to run
He
you
was
through
tough.
he's not going to run you through the wall or anything like that, but just the way he brought it night in and night out and his compete. I mean, it was a trickle-down effect for the whole team, but it started with Toews, and you hear about the way Patty Kane talks about him. I mean, if you need to think anything, like the way Patty Kane talks about Toews says it all. So in his prime, buddy, like Richie said, there was no one better. So, buddy, enjoy retirement. Get the hip pumping. Get the blue lights going. And the Chicago Blackhawks, I mean, he needs a nice front office job, right? Just some kind of job up there, advisor to whoever. He's earned it. So last but not least, you're at Missin Curfew. Back up the Brinks truck. Beep, beep, beep. Back it up, fella. Back it up right to Darren Raddish's fucking patio. Swishy, my man, me and you talked about this throughout the course of the season. What is he going to get? Who's going to give it to him? Is Tampa going to give it to him? I never thought Tampa was going to buck up like this. The Toronto Maple Leafs, 8 years, 8.5 bananas. I'm interested to see how this one ages. I'm happy for him. He hasn't made any real money to now. He is now set for life. He has earned that. But Swishy and Rich, I'm not going to lie to you boys. I don't know how this one's going to marinate over the next, 5 to 6 years. Time will tell. He's got a bomb. He'll help the power play. I do think there's holes in his game, though, in his defensive zone.
Yeah, 30-odd years old. 7 years it took him to get to this point in terms of being an NHL regular. Like, he grinded through the minors. There's 3 or 4 organizations he played in. Obviously got an opportunity this year with Victor Hedman out on that power play one and took full advantage of that. Like, to sign for $68 million in your career earnings before that were, I would say, just off the top of my head, I'm not cap friendly here, but probably about $3 million for Darren.
Yeah.
And to sign for 68, that's a really cool feel-good story. Going back home, it's going to be awesome. He's going to have a chance to run that first power play, collect a lot of points. Now, he's not the fleetest of foot, and he's 30 years old, Obi. So I'm gonna be curious to see how this ages. If they get 4 or 5 good years out of Darren, I think that's a win, just in terms of what their window is to win in Toronto. And after that, you can assess as you go. But it's pretty cool to see a right shot defenseman get paid like that. That, like I said, man, it took him 7 or 8 years to get to the point of an NHL regular, and then to sign for 68 bananas. Oh my God, King Street.
That's gotta feel good.
Holy fuck!
I'll tell you what, his Canada Day just got a lot fucking better, eh? When it just 68 million. Hey boys, I'm having a shaker. Come on over. Don't bring anything but your fucking your liver and your appetite, eh? Everything else is taken care of.
What would you think, Obi? Does that mean you gotta think Morgan Riley's probably that means you're bye-bye?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's time for Morgan to.
Me too.
I've always been a huge Morgan Riley fan. The way he can skate, the way he moves laterally, he's got a good stick. I do think he could play with a little more jam sometimes. If I was nitpicking on him here, I think a change of scenery would be great for him too. And yeah, that's probably the writing's on the wall, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good for this kid. This kid's good. I like Darren Raddysh. I think he can run a power play. He has a bomb. I think that's a good move. You know, you need someone up there that can run that power play. You need someone to get Austin Matthews the puck. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see how he handles the mic. You know, being in Tampa, you know, you got Coop and the boys there. There's no media. You're living in fucking, you know, Harbor Island or Davis Island, and now boom, you're into the big smoke, making 8 and a hook. If you're -3 and fucking. Well, we'll see how he handles it. I wish him.
Just look at your bank account.
Yeah, exactly. And I wish him luck because, like Swishy said, he, you know, Toronto boy coming home. I respect that. So I wish him the best. And my Leaf fans, my Leaf buddies are a little concerned, but like you said, I think the first 3 or 4 years will be all right. So, some good news here. I thought this was great. Nick Deslauriers, you know, obviously gets traded at the deadline, goes into Carolina, doesn't play a whole lot, but what he did for their dressing room, for their Black Ace group, he gets rewarded with a 2-year deal right at the fucking parade. I thought that was great, man. I love seeing guys like this get rewarded, Richie. He does the little things, and when the regular season does start next year, and Rod the Bod has Deslauriers that he can throw out there to protect his guys, I think it's good on both ends.
100%. I've never seen that before. That's got to be a first, huh? Signing it at the parade.
Signing at the parade.
No, it's awesome. You like a team that's going to go deep in the playoffs needs a guy like this. Great guy. I know everyone loves him on that team, and good for him, man. I know he didn't get to play much in the playoffs or at all, but he's still a huge part of that team. And it just really happy for a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, basically got rewarded for more or less. He wasn't a Black Ace. Obviously, he's on the team, but you know, not playing for 3 odd months after he got traded from Philadelphia. You like to see that happen to good guys, especially good, tough guys that protect your team, get rewarded for being there through the whole time. You traded for this guy. They could have easily just cut him loose. Obviously, that's some insurance, I think, playing against, hopefully, in the playoffs against some of these bigger teams, even in the regular season, right? You got Scotty Sabbert, who just re-signed in Tampa Bay. He's a criminal on skates.
Love him.
You got guys, you know what I mean, in Florida that will throw their weight around. So that's just added insurance in that division down there. So good on Deslauriers for getting re-upped, and good on Carolina for doing the right thing.
Yeah, well said all around, boys. Last but not least here, and back up the Brinks truck, the Edmonton Oilers' Stan Bowman has locked up his 2 deadline deals. Jason Dickinson, 5 years, $4 million. How are you? And then Connor Murphy, I think he got a 4 or 5 year deal for 4.1. So, boys, where I'm going with this, right here on Puckpedia, it says the Oilers got 7.4 in cap space here. Do you like these signings? Would you like to see them maybe test the market, or what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think Dickinson's a solid signing, right, for what he is. You know, $4 million, that's the old $2 million in this cap and how it's going up. So I think that's a solid piece of business in terms of a depth forward, right? You're going to need guys in your bottom 6 that can play meaningful minutes. I mean, whether that's adding a guy like Dickinson for the future, or even a guy that you signed last year in Trent Frederick. Like, you got to get that kid going. You need more back there in the bottom 6. I know it's not the easiest role to play with how much their big dogs play, and especially, you know, if you really look at it, they play penalty kill, power play a little bit after every TV timeouts, offensive zone starts. So it's a hard role to kind of come into. But what's it? But Dickinson did
touches.
Yes, but Dickinson, you know, he fared well in the time he was in Edmonton, so I think that's a good re-signing. Murph, I'm indifferent. I mean, it's just, you know, he's serviceable, Obi. It's not a crazy cap hit, 5 years, maybe a little long for a 33-year-old defenseman, but maybe he's earned that right to get that, you know, more commitment from the team and then lower that AAV. I don't, you know, necessarily know what the demand would be for a guy like that on the open market, but he is 6'3". He is a right shot. He can penalty kill. He can make a half-decent first pass. So I like the Dickinson one more than anything. The Murphy signing, that's just added depth on the back end.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to, you know, the rumors are that Nurse, the doctor's on his way out. So, you know, you can get that 9.2 off the books. Obviously, they're going to have to get something coming back, but maybe that'll give them some more cap relief, Richie, if they do get the doctor off the books at 9.2.
Yeah, I think it's a signing too that, you just want to know where you're at, right? You need players. Murphy's an NHL player. He's probably, you know, 5'6" guy, but he's probably just as good as Nurse is for half the money. And then you can, you know, you bring another guy in, but I think teams want to know where they're at cap wise, you know, when they're making these trades and what they have left. And Yeah, I think I'm with Swish. I like the Dickinson one better. He's a great PK guy. Murphy's just kind of a stay-at-home, whatever, steady Eddie. But it's nice to know where you're at.
Yeah, and obviously Stan Bowman brings those guys in the deadline. He probably wanted to, re-sign them too, right? So that looks good on him. Go out and get these guys. We'll see. I wonder if that makes Connor and Leon excited. Oh yeah, Dickinson and Murphy. I don't know. I don't know if they're like, hey, yeah, fucking rights, boys. We're here we go. Let's start the parade line here. Back.
Yeah. Look at that goalie position.
Yeah.
I mean, as we get into this week too, the doctor watch is on full tilt.
The doctor watch is on.
Where is the doctor going? We got the nurse, but where is the doctor going?
Yeah, and by the way, Elliot Friedman says that people would be surprised at how much traction the doctor's getting. And I'm listen, if he wasn't making 9.2 and he was a $5 million defenseman, fuck, teams would be lined up to get him. Like he is.
I know. Do you think Oilers gonna have to retain salary on this?
I think it depends on where he goes.
Yeah,
because I don't see a lot of teams taking him at 9 or 9.5. I think I see him at 7.
Yeah. You could get away with 7. 6 would be ideal.
6 is ideal, but you're not. It's tough to eat that much money for no player. Sure. So I'm thinking you hold $2.5 million, because I don't think anyone's taking him at 9.5.
Yeah, no, they're probably gonna have to eat a little bit. Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Which doesn't help. Doesn't help. You just lost the player for $2.5 million.
Right. I know.
So you'd have to sweeten the return. You'd have to get a bargain deal coming back if you're Edmonton, right? If you're chewing on $2 million.
I know. So
what we're saying is the Oilers still in one. They're in one. They're just still in one. Connor's like, fuck, we're still in one. We don't have a goalie. We just signed these two fucking guys we picked up at deadline. We got beat in the first round. We're fucking in one here, but boys, always fun snapping around with you. Richie fella, Swishy Swish. Thank you to Hall Pass Media, Kyle, Casey Conway, Max the Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew. Fella.